Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode 160. My name is Anisha, and I am a teacher on Insight Timer for about more than 3 years now. And I basically help people to live a deeply fulfilling life that is true to them. So, this is a little bit about me, and I would love to know about you. So, feel free to drop in a hi in the comments and you can share which part of the world you're joining from. Or if this is your first time, then you can share that in the comments. And until you guys, comment below, let me share an overview of this live. So, Natalie says hi from Kuala Lumpur, and it is your first time here. Beautiful. Welcome, Natalie. And I'm glad that this was going on your screen and that you decided to, spend your precious time with all of us. I hope that you received something of value from this live today. And Susie is joining us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Beautiful. Welcome, Susie. Thank you for, choosing to be here. So, my dear ones, let me. Okay, it is your first time here as well. Beautiful. I am pretty sure that this space contains a message, contains something that you need right now. And I hope that by the end of this live, both of you and everyone here receives that. So, so what we do here is we usually start these lives with a meditation that is based upon the quote that you might have seen when you opened Insight Timer, so on the home screen. So we meditate upon that, we absorb the wisdom from it and feed it to our subconscious mind. And then once you're feeling more settled, more open, then we move on to phase two of this life, which is about spinning the wheel of wisdom and letting God, universe, divine, whatever you feel is there with you, guiding you, to choose a book for us from that wheel. And then we play a game where I ask you guys to choose a number, and then we do a reading based on that. So, this is kind of what we do here in this space. I will share more details when we get to each part, but for right now, I would love to know that are you guys ready for the meditation? So, if you're feeling settled, if you are wherever you would like to meditate, then you can type ready in the comments and let me know. And until then, let me say hi to the beautiful people who joined in. Good afternoon, Karen. Welcome back. Welcome. Hello, Dina. Welcome back. Sorry, Diane. Welcome back. So happy to have you here again. Um, Amelia says, hello, good people. Hello, good Amelia. I'm so happy to have you from the start today. Eve says, good morning, Anisha and everyone. Good morning, Eve. Welcome. Okay, Amelia is ready. Polly says, you have such a calming voice. Oh, I'm happy that it brought you calm, Polly. And Polly is joining us from London. Beautiful. Thank you for being here with all of us, Polly. And Deanna is okay. Why am I messing up your name today? I'm so sorry. Deanne is here with us as well. She's ready. Eve is ready. Beautiful. Okay. So give me a second to drop in a message as well in the comments for those who will join us during the meditation so they know what is going on here. Okay, just a second. Mm, okay. Caitlin says, "Hey Anisha." Caitlin's joining us from Hudson Valley, New York. And she's ready to get into the meditation group. I love how you put it, Caitlin, and welcome back here again. And in case anyone don't know, guys, Caitlin is another wonderful teacher on Inside Timer. So if you don't know her, you can check her out and check her work out. Hello, Rhiannon. Welcome. Welcome back. Okay. So, hmm, just a sip and then we will begin. Oh, Susie is a new teacher. Oh, amazing. Welcome, Susie. And guys, I am going to check out Susie after this live and I invite you guys to do the same. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Susie, for getting started. Okay, so begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down. Noticing your environment and arriving here in this moment. And if you feel safe, allow your eyes to close. Bringing your attention away from the world outside of you and resting your awareness on your breath. Noticing the air moving in and out. Following your breath for the whole duration of the inhale and for the whole duration of the exhale. With each breath, noticing your body feeling more and more relaxed. Relaxing every muscle from your head to your toes, softening your forehead, unclenching your jaw, loosening your shoulders, relaxing your belly, and feeling your arms and your legs getting heavier, more and more heavy. Your whole body is sinking deeper and deeper into complete relaxation, into a fully relaxed state, and your mind is quiet and still. And with each breath, your mind is drifting deeper and deeper into a peaceful state. Let yourself be fully relaxed, physically and mentally. Today's meditation is inspired by a timeless quote by Epictetus. The quote is: first, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. First, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Epictetus is here hinting that real, lasting change only occurs when it begins with an identity shift. So rather than following the do, have, be formula that society has taught us, meaning do the things that you should do, which will help you have the things that you want, And eventually, you would become peaceful, happy, or successful. So instead of this formula, we are invited to follow a different one, which is be, do, have. So, first become the person that you want to be, embody that, and as you embody that, do the things that that kind of a person would do. And when you follow that, eventually you would have all the things that you wanted, because those things would be a vibrational match to who you are. So, before deciding any goals, habits, or actions, you are invited to ask yourself this question: who do I choose to be? To decide who you want to be. And let's take a moment right now to ask ourselves this question: who do I want to be in this season of my life? So I'm going to stay quiet for a few moments so that you can reflect on this question: who do I want to be in this season of my life? What kind of a person do I want to be? We often try to fix our lives by pushing ourselves to do more, to try harder, or to behave differently. We try to fix ourselves, to prove ourselves. But when action is disconnected from our identity, then it feels heavy, and unsustainable. So, I invite you to consider reversing the order. First, clarifying who you want to be, that is, the qualities you want to embody, the values you want to live by, the way you want to meet life. So, this meditation is an invitation to gain clarity on who you want to be. And once you have made that decision, then the actions become simpler. When you say to yourself who you are being, that is patient, compassionate, steady, courageous. So when you say to yourself who you want to be, who you are being in this moment, then your choices begin to reflect that state, to reflect or to align with who you are, because you have decided that this is the kind of person that I am choosing to be. So your life becomes less less about pushing and more about living from alignment. So, my dear ones, now we are going to repeat certain affirmations to really feed this wisdom to our subconscious mind. And I am going to repeat each affirmation 3 times. For the first 2 times, simply listen and let those words land into your subconscious mind. And on the third time, you are invited to repeat them after me. So let's begin. You can choose who you want to be in each moment. You are learning to choose your best self to embody in each moment. Now repeat after me. I choose my best self to embody in each moment. I choose to embody my best self in each moment. You feel steady before you act. You feel steady before you act. You feel steady before you act. Now repeat after me. I feel steady before I act. You move through each day with intention. You move through each day with intention. I move through each day with intention. You take aligned steps. You act in alignment with who you want to be. I act in alignment with who I choose to be. You live your values through daily choices. You live your values through daily choices. I live my values through daily choices. Your actions reflect who you choose to be. Your daily actions reflect your best self. My daily actions reflect my best self. You do what supports the person you want to become. You follow through on the actions and habits that supports the person you want to become. I follow through on the habits that supports the person I want to become. You release the need to force action. You release the need to force action. I release the need to force action. You allow action to flow naturally as you embody your best self. You allow action to flow naturally as you embody your best self. I allow action to flow naturally as I embody my best self. take one aligned step at a time. You take one aligned step at a time. I take one aligned step at a time. You did great. And now, before we end this meditation, I invite you to take a moment and reflect that what would be an aligned step that the person who you choose to be in this season of your life would take. So imagine that you are that person. You are the person who you want to be in this season of your life. Yes, you are that person. And now that you are that person, ask yourself, what action step would I take next? So it doesn't have to be a big step. It can be the smallest, tiniest step that you, the one who is your best self right now, would take in your current situation. Wonderful. Now that you have the clarity as to who you want to be in this season of your life and what you need to do next, then just be that person. Embody that person because that is also a version of you. So, as you think about taking that step, whenever you decide to take that step, call upon this version of you, this version of you who has all the beautiful qualities, who lives by his or her values, who believe in himself or him or herself or themselves, and then take that action. So for now, allow yourself to come back to your body, feeling the impact of this practice and those questions. And now allow yourself to take a deep breath in and out, letting go of this practice, but not that version of you who you have chosen to embody in this season of your life. Know that despite this practice ending, that version of you lives within you, and you can call upon it anytime you need it. But for now, take one more deep breath in, and with the exhale, gently open your eyes. Arriving back in the space. So, if you guys feel called to share your experience of the practice, you're welcome to do that in the comments. And if you don't feel like typing yet, that's perfectly fine. And if you also found it harder to answer this question as to who I want to be in this season of my life, then instead you can also reflect on each day. You can reflect that who do I want to be today? Who do I choose to be today? What kind of a person do I want to be today? So that breakdown might help you gain even more clarity if the larger picture didn't work out for you. And I see that a lot of new people have joined us as we were meditating. So, a warm welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a space where the right message finds you. So, in case you guys missed the meditation that was on today's quote, I will share towards the end of this live where you can find it. But for now, we are going to move on to the next phase of this live, which is about spinning the wheel and letting the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, angels, ancestors, higher self, whatever you feel is here guiding you to choose a book for us from our Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, let's see. Good morning, Cassandra. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here again. Hello, April. Welcome back again. Thank you so much, Karen, for this kind gift. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that the meditation, hopefully touch something within you. Thank you. Um, okay, Nicole says wheel time. Emilia says ready for the wow. Okay, so people are excited. Now let me show you guys the wheel of wisdom, especially the ones who are joining for the very first time. And I love how it sums up to wow, because that is the kind of feeling sometimes when we receive the messages or when some kind of magic happens in this space. Okay, so my dear ones, this is our wheel of wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 51 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of healing and personal growth. So now what we are going to do is we are going to spin this wheel so that we all can receive the message that we need to hear most. So in order to do that, I invite you to send out this prayer or wish, whatever you want to term it. But yeah, send out, you can repeat this thing after me, this wish after me, or create your own, which is that may everyone present here receives the message that is for their highest good, something that they need to hear right now. Okay, so holding that beautiful wish in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Emilia, your magic hasn't faded away. Okay. Okay, Emilia, I'm going to spin again. Okay, guys, for those who are new to this space, Emilia last year manifested that we are going to get a book from Thich Nhat Hanh, and we did. And since then, every time she is here, we get a book from Thich Nhat Hanh. That is the author. So, okay, let's let's spin again since she is requesting. Oh, Cassandra says that that goes with the quote so well. The name of the book, which is Peace is Every Step, or what just happened. And Eve says an agreement for all. Ah, lovely. Okay. Hmm. So, guys, should we go with this book? Should we choose another book? Amelia voted for Spin again, but I would also like your votes. Should we go with the book Peace is Every Step, or should we spin again and choose a different book? Because Amelia is kind of tired. Hmm. Which one? Like spin again or same book? Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's spin. Okay, we say same, but a lot of people are saying spin again. So we, is it okay if we spin again? Yeah, that book comes a lot. I don't know why there are 51 books. Okay, Lawrence says trust the wheel. Hmm. Hmm. Now I'm confused. Uh, okay, let us go with, since the wheel has chosen the book, I'm going to respect that and we are going to go with the book. Then we will get another book. I hope it is okay with you all. because since some people wants, to hear from it, so I want to respect that as well. Okay, Visa is great. Okay, Ellen also loves this choice. So, my dear ones, I invite you guys to choose a number between 19 to 134. And no rush, take your time. I will pick a number randomly, okay? So there is no fastest fingers first. Okay, thank you, Diane. Thank you, V. Thank you, Cassandra, Nicole, Kim. Wonderful. Thank you, April, Karen. Okay, a lot of fast numbers came up. Emilia, Natalie, Sarah, Susie, Caitlin, CJ, Edgar, Zach. Okay, so my dear ones, anyone else? Thank you, Alan. So, thank you, Rachel. Another Ellen. Oh, hmm. Thank you, Eve. Okay. Ooh, a number got repeated amongst these, seems like. So it seems like we have page number 53, repeated two times by CJ and Eve. Okay, then let's go with that one. I am going to let the universe choose a book for us again. So let us go with page number 53. Hmm. Hmm. So the author says if we meditate in order to get to the truth, it seems we will be well paid. In meditation, we stop and we look deeply. We stop just to be there, to be with ourselves and with the world. When we are capable of stopping, we begin to see. And if we can see, we understand. Peace and happiness are the fruits of this process. We should master the art of stopping in order to be really with our friend and with the flower. So basically, I guess the universe is inviting us to pause, to stop once in a while and to smell the rose. Since the thing with flower came up, so I had to say that. But yeah, to stop and to really see what is happening around you, what is present here right now. Like right now, in fact, right now, pause and see what is around you. Notice what you are able to see. Maybe you might find something beautiful around you. Maybe you might notice something that you haven't noticed before, despite being in the same space, hundreds of times. You might notice something that makes you feel calm. Okay, so If you guys want to share something that you noticed in the comments, you can do that. Or notice something that changed within you as you noticed what is around you. I recently created a whole course around how our environment can help signal safety to our nervous system without us changing anything, without you doing anything special like breathing deeply, changing anything, without doing anything else. Just arriving and just letting your environment convey that this moment is safe, that you're held in the space. And, and it is so beautiful how the things that we ignore, how, how often that we ignore all of this, we don't really look at this. We are just glued to this and we never really notice what is around us. And when we do, it has so much, it can offer us so much. If I were to really do this practice for a longer time and if I asked you guys what you guys felt, it might have been different things that might came up for you, different beautiful things. And I guess that's the invitation to really stop, to really pause and to see. And once we see, we understand a lot of different things. Like maybe we don't need so much to be peaceful, to be happy, to be content. That that things around us, that the nature of impermanence, we can really see, we can really understand all these phenomena that we study about conceptually when we really like be with what is around us and what is within us. When we really meet ourselves and we really meet our space or the life that we have. So that, I guess, was the invitation. Okay, let me go through your wonderful comments now. um, CJ says beautiful. I am so happy, CJ, that it resonated with you since we chose your number. And Cassandra says, yes, working on being present more. Oh, I love that it aligned with with the kind of person that you want to become, Cassandra, to become a more present, more aware, more, grounded person. Eve says, breath, breathe, look around, absorb the peace. Oh, I love that. That can be a poster, Eve, in our room that can remind us, or a t shirt. I love that. Sarah says your voice is so calming. Thank you, Sarah. I am glad that, it had that kind of an effect on you. Karen says, beautiful message. It coincides with today's intention challenge, rediscovering the simple pleasures. Exactly. Ah, we have so much, and all we need to do is to simply notice. Emilia says, meditate for the truth of life. I love that. Will reward me with peace I am seeking. On reflection, I would say I meditate to attain peace, but this gives an interesting perspective or angle. Exactly. So I think I have a track on this already because we discussed it in another live. I was doing a meditation challenge or something in which I shared that the purpose of meditation, especially mindfulness meditation, is not to attain peace, is not to feel calm, and have all those beautiful experiences, but it is to meet reality as it is, to meet the reality that is around you, things around you and within you. So, meeting that reality as it is. And when you do that, the true nature of things, of reality, of you unfolds in that process. And the byproduct is peace. The byproduct is all of those beautiful things, experiences that you are seeking. And they may or may not happen, but the main thing is to meet reality, is to learn to be present with whatever is. And in that, you would discover a lot of different things. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Amelia. Okay, now time for another spin. Okay, give me a second. Hmm. I'm glad that we went with the book, with the same book that has came upon again and again. And yet there is so much wisdom yet to be tapped. So, my dear ones, again holding the intention for the highest good of us all, to receive a message that we all need to hear. Ah, today the most, I guess, the most frequent books are coming up. Okay. So the book that came up is Radical Acceptance: Embracing Your Life with the Heart of a Buddha by Tara Brach. So let's see what this beautiful, beautiful book wants to offer us. So give me a second to open the book and choose some numbers. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go. So, my dear ones, hello, Mary. Good morning. Good morning. So, you're just in time for our second reading, and I invite all of you to choose a number between 20 to 223. Again, no rush, take your time. I will pick a number intuitively, okay? Thank you, V. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Mary. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Okay. Then let us go with the numbers that are here. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Amelia. Okay. It seems like I'm feeling called to page number 210. Thank you, Amelia, for choosing that number for all of us. Let's see what is on page number 210. So, the author says, We forget that every person, including ourselves, is new every moment. Again, we forget that every person, including ourselves, is new every moment. In his play, The Cocktail Party, T.S. Eliot writes, what we know of other people is only our memory of the moments during which we knew them. Again, what we know of other people is only our memory of the moments during which we knew them. And they have changed since then. We must also remember that at every meeting, we are meeting a stranger. At every meeting, we are meeting a stranger. So the author is kind of inviting us to bring the perspective of being with the other person, or you know being with the other person by letting go and releasing all our preconceived notion, to bring that beginner's mind, and to bring also a sense of curiosity with it, and the possibility of that person behaving in n number of different ways. And similarly with ourselves, which goes perfectly with the meditation that we did, that letting go of all the preconceived notions about ourselves, about who we are, the kind of person that we are, because sometimes we end up using that as an excuse that that's just the kind of person I am. So instead of sticking with that, being rigid about that, letting go of this limitation that we have placed upon ourselves, the box that we have put ourselves in, and giving ourselves the freedom to be ourselves, to be a new, a different version of ourselves in every moment. So, and you can be that in every moment. Emilia says that's a great reminder. If I don't know this person in front of me, how would I interact with them? I love that, how you put that into a question, because some people like, to use an affirmation, a mantra, but I feel like questions are even more powerful, because they help us engage our mind, our prefrontal cortex in that moment, and decide for ourselves again in that moment that what kind of a person would do I want to be, what kind of a person would I be if I met this person? Sorry, sorry. Um, yeah, so if, I was meeting this person for the very first time, if I dropped everything that I know about this person, like not everything, meaning those rigid things that I believe about this person, then how would I behave in this manner? What would I say? How would I say them? If they say this thing, would I judge them on the very first instance, or would I give them the benefit of doubt? So, like bringing that kind of freshness to every interaction, and sometimes letting life surprise you, letting that person surprise you. Um, yeah, especially needed when dealing with family members. Exactly. Um, I'm glad, Emilia, that this is a reminder that you resonated with. And for some reason, I'm feeling more, or maybe it is just for me to really focus on that part about not bringing those preconceived notions about ourselves. And, it's not just about other people, but not letting our own beliefs about ourselves limit us, but let giving ourselves a moment to surprise ourselves, to behave in different manners, to be a different person. So I'm feeling more called to that part for some reason. Okay, Karen says the beautiful thing about life is we have the freedom, intention, and choice to be better than we was yesterday. Exactly, exactly. We can choose, to be better than who we were an hour ago, a minute ago. You know, we have that kind of a freedom. Thank you, Karen, for putting this so beautifully. I love that. Cassandra says nobody is perfect. We shouldn't judge. Exactly. We are also not perfect. We have also made the same mistakes that we sometimes judge other people for. So, keeping that in mind, that we are not the almighty, ever perfect human being. And that can humble us down, that can help us relate even more with that person and be more open. Okay, so let's do one more reading and then we will wrap up. So, my dear ones, now let me open the wheel again. So, take a moment to wish something kind to all of us and holding that kind wish, let's see what wants to come through. So, the name of the book that came for all of us is Change Your Life in 7 Days by Paul McKenna. Oh, if we would have gotten this book on 1st January, it is, I guess, 7th January today, right? And if we could change our life in 7 days, wouldn't that be wonderful? Okay, let me open this book and see, what aspect of our life would the universe wants to change. Okay, so for this book, we're not doing the numbers thing because I do not have the original book. So for those of you who are new, I have read these books over the period of last 10 years or so. So I do not have all the books because I didn't plan on doing this, but I have notes from this book. So what I'm going to do is I am going to okay, Mary says yesterday is the 7th. Yes, and yeah, for some reason I guess this book aligned with that. So what was I saying? Yeah, so what I'm going to do with this is I am going to close my eyes and I'm going to scroll through these notes until I feel like this is the section that I want to stop. This is the section that everyone here needs to hear from. Okay, so let's do this. May we all receive the guidance and support that we are looking for in this moment. Mm. Mm. So, so there is like a practice that is suggested. Okay, give me a second to find the start of it. Hmm. So the name of the practice is the inner critic. So I'm going to read out the instructions to you guys. Okay. So the author says, stop for a moment and talk to yourself in your critical voice, saying all those nasty things in that unpleasant tone. So, yeah, so take a minute to think about the last time that you criticized yourself, or think about the thing that you don't like about yourself or about your life. So take a moment to call upon your inner critic and say all the mean things, all the critical things that you say to yourself. And now notice where you make that voice. So, does it seem to be coming from inside your head or outside? Notice, is it at the front, the sides, or the back? And now extend your arm and stick out your thumb. Okay, like this. And wherever the critical voice was, move it down your arm to the tips of your thumb. So it's now speaking to you from there. So imagine that wherever your inner critic was, so it has moved from your arm and it has went all the way to your thumb that you have sticked out away from your body. And now, once you imagine your inner critic in your thumb, whatever it is saying to you, whatever it says to you, so imagine anything that it says to you, usually about the things that it don't like about you, your life, how you behave, and all of those things. So imagine this inner critic saying all those things, and as it says these things to you, slow it down. So, slow the speed at which this inner critic is saying all those things to you. So, for example, if the inner critic is saying that you are such a lazy person, then, imagine it saying it like this: You are such a lazy person. So, change the tone as well as change the pace at which it is saying these things. So, you can even think of it saying these things like a cartoon, an animated character. You can be creative with this. So this is your inner critic, and you can you know um change, like make it sound like Mickey Mouse or Doraemon or whatever the cartoon character that you have watched, that you find funny or that you find silly. Yeah, silly is a good one. Or a cartoon character that exaggerates things, maybe. So think of this as a cartoon character, and also And if you don't want to do that, then you can simply modify the speed at which this inner critic is speaking. You can make whatever this critic is saying sounds, funny, sounds silly, sounds romantic, anything which is mentioned here. So yeah, so make it sound different. Any way that feels less threatening to you. Hmm. So this is one practice that you can do when the inner critic empowers you. Um, so you can like first of all gain distance between you and the inner critic. Notice where it is. Move it from your hand to your, any finger maybe for thumb for this exercise's sake. So imagine now this is your inner critic and this is at a distance from you and it is speaking from there, whatever it is speaking. Okay. And then you imagine this critic to be anyone that is silly, funny, or just change the way it is speaking those things which is like silly, funny, very slow, very robotic, very monotonous. So change that and and then notice now does it feel less threatening? Does it, does it evokes the same feeling within you that it was evoking before? The feeling of guilt or shame, the feeling of discouragement and all of that. Now has those feelings changed? So this is, one way to do this. And maybe it resonated, maybe it doesn't with you, but this is just one technique and you can give it a try. And if you did it with me, let me know how it was for you. I would love to hear about it. I wasn't able to like do it alongside so much because I was also like giving and translating the guidance and everything. So yeah, let me know. Hello, Silverback. Welcome back here. Um, and if you feel like translating what you have shared here in the comments, you can do that. And there is another way to deal with inner critic, which is like so whatever the inner critic is saying, ask yourself what would be an encouraging way to say that same message, maybe with a little modifications. How can you say that same message in a very encouraging way? So you can, use the feedback that you're getting from your critic, but modify it in a manner that do not lead you from shutting down, from wanting to numb your feelings, from wanting to distract yourself, but to actually taking that action that you need to take that action that would move you forward, do something that would make you feel better, whatever it is that you need at that moment. So you can also use this one as a way, which is to ask yourself, how can I say that same message? So extract the facts from that and say it in a more encouraging manner. So that can be another thing that you can reflect on. Okay. Kim says it takes all the power away from the critic for me. Oh, I love that, Kim. Thank you for giving this a try and sharing your experience. I am so happy to hear that. Exactly, it has only that much power that we give it, by believing in it, by believing the story, by letting it, drive the bus. So I love that. Um, Emilia says, we are the master of our minds. Exactly, exactly. And that's what we are doing here. So this is one way to take back control, to, help us decide and choose what we want to do, how we want to, be talking to. Is that the right word? But yeah, okay. You get the point, right? So yeah, being the master of our own mind. And again, the saying goes, master is a good, sorry, mind is a good servant, but not a good master, right? So yeah, so this is one way in which we can take back control. Amelia says Silverback is in the house. The chats are going to get colorful. It definitely does every time Silverback is here. Okay, so so, my lovely people, I guess that's the end of this live. I hope that you got something valuable out of this live. And if you did, and if you want to support this space, if you want to help me keep this going, keep these lives going, or to create more resources, then you can make a small donation to help me keep this, continue this. And if you can't, that's perfectly all right as well. Your presence here is so much appreciated. So, yeah, thank you for spending your time. And in case you guys joined late, or if you want to revisit the meditation that we did, then let me share where you can find it. Thank you so much, dear Emilia, for this generous gift. I so appreciate your support, your presence, and I hope that you receive this beautiful, lovely, kind energy that you're sending my way, that you're sending, towards everyone who would be who would be impacted by this. So I hope that that multiplies and reaches your life back and blooms. Thank you. Thank you, dear Meg, for this kind gift. I am so grateful, and I hope that may you receive a beautiful gift today as well that brings a smile to your face. So thank you. Um, yes, I was sharing where you can find this live real quick. So what you guys can do is you guys can go to my profile, okay? And if you want to listen to this live again, you can go to the About section, scroll down. At the bottom, you will see this. And here you will find today's live, as well as all the previous lives and some other, offerings that I have, as well as some gifts that I have created for you guys. So you will find everything here in one place. And I hope that you receive whatever it is that you're looking for here. So that's it for this live. And thank you for choosing to spend your precious time with me. I hope to see you all in the next live, which is day after tomorrow at the same time. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. Bye. Take care. See you day after tomorrow.